If referrals are not currently part of your business growth strategy, you are leaving money on the table, my friend. But more importantly, you're also missing the opportunity to serve people who you are meant to serve. In this episode, I'm joined by my new friend, Laura Sprinkle, who's an affiliate partnerships strategist who specializes in working with digital course creators. We're going to talk about how any business can scale their impact and their income through referrals and partner programs. Over the past 4 years, Laura's approach to partner programs has helped everyone from budding entrepreneurs to seven-figure industry leaders garner more than $15 million in partner revenues. I have been personally working with Laura to incorporate more partner opportunities within our own programs to help women just like you earn money that they can reinvest into their big ideas. And it's been a game changer. So I am seriously excited for you to hear today's episode. Okay, before we get into today's episode, I have something really exciting to share. You have heard me talk about our six-figure school program, and we only open it twice a year. We are opening it for spring very, very soon. You know, podcasts are amazing. You can learn so much from them. If you're like me, you probably binge listen to so many different incredible podcasts. But if you're ready for a step-by-step plan, you're tired of figuring it out all on your own, and you just want someone to take you by the hand and show you exactly how to launch and scale your big idea to your first six figures, then this is for you. You also happen to get the most incredible, badass community of women who are going to support you and hold you accountable. So my favorite thing about the way we've designed Six-Figure School is that you have access for the life of the program. So you get to learn and grow at your own pace. There's no such thing as falling behind, and there's really no such thing as joining too early, because no matter if your idea is just the tiny seed of inspiration or you've been at it for a while, you are going to get so much from this program and community that's going to help you go further faster. So if your heart is kind of racing and your palms are getting a little sweaty just hearing me talk about this, then something tells me this might be for you. And if you know you're ready to go all in on your big ideas, here's what I want you to do. The doors won't open for a few more days or weeks, depending on when you're hearing this message, but I want you to text me the word READY, READY, text me the word READY to 602-536-7829. And you're going to get first access to join when we open the doors, plus some exclusive bonuses that no one else is going to get. We only open this program, like I said, twice a year. And once the doors open, they are not open for long. So hit pause right now, send me a quick text. The number is in the show notes, and let's do this. Let's get you on the way to making your big idea a reality. Now, let's dive into today's episode. Welcome back to the podcast. I have my really new friend joining me today, and she's one of those people that has such a great name. You can't just say her first name. So Laura Sprinkle, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
Thanks for having a great name. It's just really makes my life as a podcaster so much more fun.
You're welcome.
Well, I think this is kind of perfect that we're talking about just the power of referrals, referral programs, affiliate programs today, because you and I actually met because you were referred to me. So shout out to Jen Gottlieb. We love her. She's been on the podcast multiple times. And she said, you need to know Laura. We're getting ready right now, as you guys all know, to launch our six-figure school program. And it's something we've always had this vision of doing, to include a way for other women to make money through this program. And so in comes Laura Sprinkle. Sorry, I just used your first name. But we're going to really talk about this today because this is your jam, like helping companies harness the power of referral programs. So I'd love just to even hear, how the heck does one become an expert in this and make this their thing? Tell us a little bit about your story.
Yeah, thank you so much. And yes, thank you. Huge shout out to Jen, like you said. I'm very grateful for that introduction because I believe we're going to be, what are they called? The Golden Gals? The Golden
Golden
Grannies?
Grannies. Yes.
Yes.
So we did find out that we have a mutual love for dance.
Yes.
So more on that later.
So that's going to be excellent. And I really got started on the launch side of things. So helping people strategize on their actual promotion. So like if I have a product, what do I need to do to get that product ready and get it out in the world? So getting your ideas from your head out into the world for people to buy them and to support people. And then I was working with Selena Sue, who is a dear friend and client and mentor. And she asked me, well, hey, like, my product so well, and the launch and how we do it, the webinars and all of that. Why don't you come and manage the affiliate side of things? And I had no idea what she was talking about, but I was like, sure, sounds good. Let's do it. And dove right in and found my jam. And it's been, let's see, that was in end of 2017. So it's been about 4 years now. Well, I don't even know if that was correct math, but
it's like
4
a
years
blur,
and
right?
loving it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just found that like my main mission on the planet is to create more connections and to help people feel like they're part of a community, they're connected to themselves, to each other, to the planet. And this is the vehicle with which I do it, is helping business owners create partner programs.
And it really kind of was love at first Zoom call when you shared the vision that you have for your company and how that ripple effect is actually going to look in terms of like monetary compensation to other people. Will you share that? Because this was the part where I was like, that person, this is who I want to work with.
Oh, it was so exciting how you were like, yes, let's do it. And that's really my litmus test if people get excited about this. So my big mission is to help at least 100 companies pay out $100,000 or more in commissions, which means that they are paying people that they care about, that share their values. That's a huge part of what we do. Is like, it's not anybody that can become a partner. It's really, they need to be aligned. So paying people that share your values and helping them transform their lives, their businesses, invest. And you're like, oh my gosh, amazing. I want to help my community earn money for their business through sharing Six Figure School.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about why that is your litmus test. Because I think there's something here for people to learn, because there's two ways you could really hear that statement. And I'm sure you kind of see both ends of the spectrum. As business owners, sometimes it's really hard to think about like investing big numbers into our launches. So we're talking like really big scale launches, right? So if someone's paying out that amount, their launch is generating a lot of revenue. Where do you see or how do I want to frame this? What's the difference between a business owner who really gets the power of investing in a referral or affiliate, whatever name we want to put to it, versus those that don't want to pay out as much? Like, in terms of, what do you see in terms of the results of their launches? And even just like overall, I don't want to be judgy about people, but it like almost comes down to like an abundance mindset is like what I want to say. So yeah, I'd love to hear just like why for you that is such a litmus test.
Such a good question. And I do want to actually clarify that when I'm saying this $100,000, for me, it's not about, in one launch, they're paying this out, or like their first launch. I mean, it has happened, and that's not really the goal. It is to set up a sustainable regenerative wealth practice that they can continue to pay partners over and over and over. And, I kind of just chose 100,000 because I think it sounds really awesome. And when we hit our goal, that will mean I believe it's $10 million that is spreading the wealth to communities. So that's our big thing. And for me, that's the litmus test because, along with what you're saying with that abundance mindset, if someone hears I'm going to pay $100,000 and is like, oh, well, I don't want to pay anybody else. I don't want other people to benefit from my work. Or even if, it's not necessarily that it's a litmus test of like, oh, if your first gut instinct is, ooh, paying, that's all right. We can reframe that for you in a second once you realize that if you've paid out that much, or even if you've paid out, I think I sent my biggest payout ever last week at one time, and it was almost $25,000. Now, in order for me to do that, my company had to generate $50,000 because we were paying out 50% on that particular product. And so if you realize, like, I was able to reach all of those students because of my partners, I wouldn't have known them as quickly, as easily. Like, I wouldn't have met you if it wasn't for, getting this referral from Jen. So I'm happy to send Jen a thank you for that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that is so key as we talk about why I believe, I'll even go as far as to say every business owner should have referrals as part of their overall marketing and advertising strategy, whether that's paid referrals or not, just a referral mindset. So talk to me a little bit about why are you passionate about helping businesses see the value in this? And what is the value of having other people sharing your products and services?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think if you don't have other people sharing your work, then I'm curious as to, are you actually serving people? Because if, you're serving somebody and they got a good result, then why aren't they talking about it? And you're probably like, oh, well, I am getting referrals. Actually, like, this person said they found me for this person, but you just may not have a systemized, well, you may not have a system in place for really boosting that up. And, there's multiple ways of getting a new customer in the door. You can create content, organic content. So you could create a podcast, you could be on social media, you could write a blog, and all of that is amazing. And you can really connect one-on-one with your customers or potential customers, create a community, and it does take time. I mean, like, you've grown an organic audience, and it's putting in the work. It's being consistent every day, every week, and really growing from there. Everybody starts at zero. I wouldn't recommend that you don't do that. And you can also boost it a lot easier by tapping into other people's audiences that they've already put in that work and they've already developed that trust with their audience. You can also go the paid advertising route, and you can grow quickly. However, you are investing right up front, and you're paying corporations like Facebook, like Google, with those dollars. And so for me, when you do have a paid referral system, those dollars, first of all, are only going out the door when you actually make a sale. So you're getting the money in first, and then you're paying. And it's going to people that you care about rather than Mark Zuckerberg. I mean, not that he's a human, Mark, and therefore I care about him. And, what would you rather do?
And it's that ability to see the impact, like you said, seeing the money go back into the hands of people in your community or clients you've worked with before. I mean, I that might have actually been the easiest sale you ever made, someone signing up for your program, because I was like, yeah, I'm in. Like, that's but because, and here's what I want to say is, I've seen the power of growing our community organically by being willing to ask people to share. We've been very, why do you think we say we're not meant to do business or life alone? Because I couldn't do any of this alone. But the fact that our business is now at a point where we can financially compensate women for being a part of that is like so exciting to me. It brings me to tears. But let's talk about, so for someone listening who's maybe at the earlier stages and maybe they don't have a business yet, that they see their way clearly to incorporating a paid partner program, what are like the baby steps? Like, where does someone start? And maybe it even is, because we had this conversation about like really starting with the values, but then how do you make the connection between where do I start and then how do I get to the point where I'm paying out maybe $100,000 or more to people in my community?
Yeah, such a great question. And looking back, I could see that I was incorporating elements of what I teach now right from the beginning. Of course, I didn't know that that's what I was doing. I didn't have my systems and methods in place. But I would recommend having connections and hopping on Zoom calls or going out to coffee with people if you're able to in person in the future as part of your strategy for getting started. So the more people that you can talk to that align with your values and are serving the people that you want to serve in a complementary way, the faster you're going to grow. And that is creating partnerships right from the start. I would also look around and if you are getting referrals for anything, I would think about how can you go back and thank that person and have that be a regular part of your practice so that you're already starting to think about, like, even if it's not this whole, oh, you get X% of, of every sale made. It is still, I mean, I did this at the beginning when I did done for you work or I had coaching clients. If someone referred someone to me, I didn't have this whole system. They didn't have to sign up, but I would send them like a gift card to a restaurant or send them a really nice thank you note. So you're already, having this whole practice of appreciation in place. Have you done something similar in your business?
Yeah, I love that. In on both ends, I love to refer others and always do it without expecting anything in return. And I will say, like, the times that I've gotten an unexpected like thank you back is always so appreciated. But yes, we're big fans of gifts within the Powerhouse Women community. Gifts said, I feel like Oprah sometimes, like, you get a car, you get a car.
Right.
But we haven't given out a car yet. We'll get there.
Well, and I love that what you said too. I often will tell people that are getting started, why don't you be the connector? Make connections between other people, refer to other people's products, services, programs, podcasts, and you will see connections being made for you as well.
Okay, so let's talk to those who maybe are in a similar or aspire to be in a similar position to where, we're at, where we have a program that's really just such a perfect fit for an affiliate launch or we like to call them ambassadors, but, a partner program where it's a more formalized. This is why we've brought you on to consult with us. It's more formalized. We're really creating resources around the launch. Why or what have you seen? You've seen some amazing, incredible results from other businesses you've worked with in terms of the power of an ambassador launch. Tell us a little bit about maybe like a cool, unbelievable story, like to really highlight the possibilities of what can happen when you put a formal ambassador partner program in place. I'm like, this is even just for me. Like, tell me,
Yeah.
tell me the good stuff that we're like really working toward for the future.
Yeah, I would say, and a lot of people think too that this is only for people that are teaching about how to make money. And wow, that is, I'm in that industry, you're in that industry. It's an awesome industry to be in. And there's a lot of opportunity to be had here. That's not the only place that this is applicable. So you can do this for every industry. If you're serving people, you can incorporate partnership in some way, shape, or form. So one of my clients, Lisa Johnson, she is in the United Kingdom. She has a really successful program called One to Many. And she was a little bit nervous because she's like, I'm in the UK. People in the US are really used to this affiliate program stuff. I don't know about here. She had gotten to the 6-figure mark on her own. And people were asking her, hey, do you have an affiliate program? I would like to share this. I would like to make money from sharing it. So she gave it a go. And I think she was expecting like about 40 people to say yes. They ended up needing to turn people away after about the 120 mark. And they went from $200,000 to $2 million in their very next launch. So I love
Wow.
that story. And I'm always like, this is like, wow, results.
Yeah. Right. Like when they have the TV infomercials, like results not typical, but
Right.
possible, right?
Exactly.
It just goes to
But possible.
show. Wow. What do you think? contributed to that like extraordinary result? Was it just a really uh, connected community? Was it the things that they obviously like how they facilitated it? I would love to know. I mean, obviously, you know her pretty well.
Yeah, well, I definitely think it was the connected community aspect for
Mm-hmm.
sure. It also went over really well, I believe, because it was, not that no one in the United Kingdom has ever done a partner launch. They certainly have. And it was like, this new kind of experience for a lot of their partners. So oftentimes people think, if I'm going to do an affiliate launch, I know we had this conversation too. I'm going to do an affiliate launch, not that you were saying this, but that I need these big names to be promoting
Yeah.
me. I need to find the top person in my industry. And she didn't have that at all. It was actually all of her former students that had gotten great results that were sharing it then with their peers.
Yeah. And that was the part, not that I'm ever opposed to aligned partnerships where it makes sense, but our community and those of you listening, if you also have a business where it's really built on the people who have trusted you in the past, and that's very much like our brand value is just like that authenticity, like they've been through the program. So the only people who get to earn have the chance to earn money from sharing our programs are the ones who've been through it. And
Yeah.
that's I think back to the values. So like how do you decide like who the right people are to align with, whether it's again formal or informal like referral program?
Yeah, that's such a great question. I mean, number one, of course, is that they share your values. So you may be thinking like, oh, well, I don't have this like formal, these formal values statement on my wall, like a corporation or something. And so I would think about who would not make a good partner and who doesn't align with your values. Is it, people who don't admit that Black Lives Matter? I don't want to partner with them personally. And that would be a big no no for me in my values. Is it, that I only want to partner with people that are going to go all in because that is one of my core values. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to go all the way. So I don't want partners who are like, oh, yeah, I'll tell one person about it. However, it could be that one of your values is reaching as many people as possible. So even if someone is going to tell one person about it, then that's worth it to you. So
Yeah.
you kind of see how that can even help you frame what you do after they become a partner.
Yeah.
And you might not know at the beginning. So you kind of just got to try it out.
Well, and that's true. If you think about it at the level of this is someone who essentially becomes an extension of your brand, and to be very thoughtful about that. That's such a great reminder.
Oh, yeah. They are your brand ambassador. So I think the
Hmm.
word that you chose was really appropriate.
Yeah. Yeah. So I I'd love to hear, and again, I sort of feel like part of this conversation is selfish because we're right in the
Sure.
midst of this. And you just have been such an amazing resource, but to share for everyone else too. What are some of the common mistakes that you see just with, you know, however we want to term that, right? Either the launch doesn't kind of go as expected, or it doesn't quite get the traction that someone had hoped, or just sort of like, ooh, would not recommend doing that. Anything at all that like comes to mind that we can just really empower people with if they're getting inspired by this conversation, which I hope you all are, to really look at where referrals ambassadors fit into your business model.
Yeah, I can think of a number, and one of them I would say is really when it comes to the attraction piece. I definitely think that not inviting the people that are students, former customers, and clients is a mistake. And they're the people that are going to have the best stories. So I would definitely start there first and foremost, which I know that you're doing, which is amazing. And I would also recommend for most people. Now, Lisa did not do this in her case. And I've had a few clients that they're like, we're just going to go for it. We're going to invite everybody in different industries, nonprofits to teachers. However, for most people, I'd recommend starting small because it is like double promotion. You've got your own promo happening, you're sending emails, you're doing what you got to do to get the word out to your audience, and you're supporting another group of of people to get the word out to their audiences and communities. So, starting small can be really beneficial, especially if you're just starting out. And so think about who are 5 people that could maybe share with one other person, and how can I really support them in making that happen. So I would say starting small, both on like, yeah, how many audience members they have and how many you're going to invite to be part of your program. Another mistake is thinking that just setting up an affiliate link or a referral link, or just telling somebody, hey, I'm taking referrals
Yeah,
is
I'm
going
open.
to, right, I'm open for business, send them my way. Like sometimes that could work. And I have put out, hey, I've got a space for one more client. If you know anybody, I'd love a referral. And if they happen to have someone, then that can work. And I like to make it really, really easy for them to share. So, are there graphics? Are there templates? Are there resources that you can provide to make that sharing really easy? Because people are not sitting around thinking, how can I give Lindsay more customers? That's not.
What? They're not?
Like, so you want to stay top of mind, and you want to make it really, really easy for them. Like, tell me, even if it's straight referral, like with the client example I said, if I had told Jen, this didn't actually happen, but if I had told Jen, the best way to refer someone to me is make an email intro. I mean, she did that anyway, so that was great. Or maybe it'd be send them to this particular application form. What do you want them to do to make this referral?
Yeah. Oh gosh. Okay, that is key, and that's something we learned really early on, even I would say as far back as our very, very first ever event, is the easier we can make it for someone to share, the more likely they are to do it. That it's not personal. People are just busy, and really making it as easy as possible. Write the copy that they can just copy and paste, provide graphics at the very least. But then I wanna kind of start to bring this to a close, tie it with a beautiful bow, by talking about the appreciation piece. So you have this beautiful model. I'm going to have you share all about the program in a little bit. It's not open yet, but I'm excited for it to be in the fall. But one of the like main pillars you teach on is appreciation. Will you talk about that piece and just why it's so important?
Yeah, that is, well, I say that all of them really are my favorite, and they are. I love
It's
the
the most
appreciation.
fun
Yeah,
to
it's
appreciate people.
super fun. It is my favorite day of the month, is the fourth Wednesday of every month, because that is when I make my commission payouts to my partners. And appreciation is not only paying people, although that's a big part of it, is paying people on time, paying people. I like to do a little ceremony personally around sending this money out into the world. It's also, providing people with prizes. It is staying in touch. It is potentially promoting them if they've got a promotion that you've agreed to do. You don't have to do that by any means. It is, providing them with the next dates, getting feedback from them on like, what did we do well and what could we improve? Because I ask that every time. I've run a lot of partner launches, and I can always improve things. There's so much that goes into appreciation and just loving up on the people who took time out of their lives to share our work with their community. Like, it's such a beautiful thing.
I love that. And that is the part I think I'm most excited about, if I had to pick a favorite.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your program. And I think who this is also perfect for, because we talk about the use of referrals, partners, affiliates within Six Figure School. And I think that it can feel overwhelming. So I'm so grateful that someone said, I'm going to actually create like the step by step. Here's how you do it beautifully. So tell us about the program and then just who it's perfect for.
Yeah, thank you so much for asking. So, the perfect person for Rock Your Affiliate program, I'm switching the order of my answering, is someone who's got a product that is getting people results. So you already have a product, you've sold it to somebody, and they have been like, "This is amazing." then you are perfect for your affiliate program. Oh, and sold it online. So we specialize in online courses or memberships, digital products. And we love working with people that do a launch model. We do have people that have come through that have things on Evergreen. However, we recommend that you create a partner launch to still get that competition, contest, fun vibes around your promotion. So even if something is available all the time, we still want to set up some kind of a timely thing for your partners. That's helpful for you to know. And our 4 phases that we take all of our students through or attract. So attracting the right partners, they align with your values. You would hang out with them. You would want them, being an ambassador of what you're doing. Activation. So kind of what we talked about, helping them to know when to send things, what to say, providing materials to make it really, really easy and really activating them to go all in and actually promote. I would say that is another mistake I've seen, is thinking that every person that says yes is really going to make a sale. It can happen. And it's like life happens, not all of our promos work either. So activation, and then amplify is probably my second favorite phase, which is actually during the promotion. And it's all about cheerleading, loving up on your partners, really helping them through any mindset stuff that comes up because they're in a sales process. And yeah, keeping things fun with contests and prizes. And yeah, I could go on and on, but that's essentially what we do.
And it's having that template has been such a godsend because it, like you said, you're actually planning a second launch. It's almost like a separate way of thinking, but just as much energy that goes into formulating that and doing it well as we put into our actual launch. So having the roadmap to follow, I would highly recommend. Don't try to figure this out on your own, or do it once on your own, learn from it, and then come back when you're ready for like the full plan. You mentioned, and I hope I'm getting this right, I think your course opens in the fall, correct? So people will hear this in April, May, and it's not actually open until fall. But tell us kind of like the best way to stay on your radar so that people know when it does open.
Yeah, so I would definitely recommend, and I think this would be perfect, especially for people that are going into 6-figure school and they're getting your support in creating a product, creating that business. And you can go download our starter kit. So it'll help you think about, what tech might I need? What things could I do to get started with creating a referral program? And then you'll be super primed for the fall. So you can go to laurasprinkle.com/start and grab our starter kit.
Okay, cool. And we'll link that in the show notes too, so everyone can find it. This has just been so much fun, and truly just so much fun to work with you and have your guidance in really creating what is quite possibly the thing in our business right now that I'm most excited about, is just to really see this money go back into the hands of our women and then to see them reinvest in their big ideas. So just thank you so, so much.
Thank you. And I'll just say, for everybody listening and watching, I've worked with a lot of people. And the fact that Lindsay is like, no, I want to pay as much as possible to the people that I care about, and is really keeping her students and community in mind at every turn, has made this so fun. And I love your community. Like, what you've created here is beautiful.
Well, I'm biased, but I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have one more question.
Okay.
And this is just from entrepreneur to entrepreneur. I know for myself, sometimes it's tough in my week to pause and just acknowledge the things that I am doing great. I always have like my next goal and the next thing I'm reaching toward. So we just call it your powerhouse moment. And it can literally be anything big or small that has happened in like the last week or so. It doesn't even matter how far back you want to go, but something that triggers in your mind right now where you're like, yeah, you know what? I was a total powerhouse in that moment, or how I learned from that or got back up. So what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Yeah, I would say that the first thing that comes to mind is that I actually started a movement practice again. And I started it with I know this is not even But as we all know, everything's connected, right? So
Yes, it
but
is.
I wasn't like, oh, I'm going to commit to a movement practice. No, I just, on Monday, I was like, I feel like moving, got a free trial for a thing. And then I've done it daily since then. And that makes me feel such like a powerhouse.
Oh, I love that because you're so right. It is all connected and it spills over into every
Yeah.
other area of our life. Okay, Laura Sprinkle, you are just one of my new favorite people. I'm really just so grateful for this new friendship and just for your guidance. So thanks for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me.